Morning, everyone. So now I got a Ford Ranger. I'm going to show you this little bad boy here. It's actually really nice shape. Customer brought it in and is complaining that it doesn't run right. That's all I got. It doesn't run right. So let's start it up and see what we got. Well, it's definitely got a misfire. It's definitely skipping. It's running real rough. I don't know if you can hear that. Alright, so let's get this in the shop, because it's also got a flat left rear tire. Well, it's not completely flat, but it's pretty darn close. It's probably got like 12 pounds of air in it. So I'm going to get this in the shop, and I'm going to see what's going on. I don't know if you can see the shaking in the vehicle. But it is shaking pretty good. So it's got a dead miss. Alright, let's get in the shop and see what we got. I have the scanner hooked up, and it's got a cylinder number 4 misfire, but it's also got cam position sensor circuit fault and mass airflow circuit low input codes. I'm not too concerned about those. The cam sensor one maybe, but I don't know about that just yet. But what bothers me about the cylinder number 4 misfire, if you heard this thing when it cranked, it almost sounded uneven. Now this is a twin plug 2.5 liter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2.5. And it's got 2 separate coils. One that fires the intake side, one that fires the exhaust side. So if you got a misfire on one single cylinder, it's more than likely not a coil pack. It's usually something along the lines of like an injector or something like that. It's very, very rare that it could be a coil pack doing that. At least that's in my experience. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to disconnect both coils, and I'm going to crank it. I want to listen to the motor and hear what it sounds like just cranking normally. Let me go ahead and do that right now. So here we come. You can see the motor there. It's got this coil here, which goes to the intake side plugs, this coil here, which goes to the exhaust side plugs. So basically, you just disconnect and disconnect. So now the coils are not going to fire. So now I want to listen to it while I crank it, because that's going to tell me, well, it's not going to tell me exactly, but it'll lead me in the direction possibly of, does this thing have a mechanical fault? So here we go. No, actually it sounds good. Alright, that's actually good. That's a good sign. And now I'm going to check spark, see if I got spark. So let me plug those back in and go from there. Alright, so I got the number 4 wire hanging out of the coil. Check this out, it does have spark. See it working around here. So it's got good spark, so that tells me there's something wrong with the coil itself. So now I'm actually going to do the other side. I'm going to do the intake side, and I'm going to disconnect that and see what it looks like. Then the next step is put the plugs. So now I'm going to say this one's good too. I got the plug out of cylinder number 4, and I got it running right now. I'm actually doing a running compression test. Now let me show you the spark plug. And here it is. And it's dry. I mean, it needs to be replaced, but I don't think that's the reason for the misfire. I'm doing a running compression test right now as we speak. There you can see it's about, it's about 55 to 60. We'll call it 60. Usually a running compression test is roughly half of what cranking compression is. So I'm not sure if that's actually good or not on this particular engine. I haven't looked up any kind of specs yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out another plug and I'm going to compare it to that. Now this should go up. Once I crack the throttle, this should go up. It does. You see that. But let me... You hear the compression coming out of that. That's not a lot. That doesn't sound like a lot at all. So, but I mean, it could be normal for this motor. I'm going to pull out another one and see. But see how slowly it builds up any kind of pressure there? It's taking a long time. Now let's pull out another plug and check that. Now there's a plug out of cylinder number 3. Now judging by how clean, how clean that is, You know, it doesn't have a buildup of like oil residue and stuff like that on there. I mean, it's dirty, it needs to be replaced, but it's not like the other one. Seeing that for a running compression test, that tells me there's a problem in cylinder number 4. Right there, I mean, it's up to around a little over 75, where the other one was just about 60. The other one is low. Actually, it's almost 80, actually. So if you think about it, like I said, these numbers are literally half of what the actual compression is when it's running. And then snap the throttle. See how crisp that comes up? And it definitely sounds, the compression sounds better than the other one. You can actually hear it a little better. I think my valve just got stuck in my... There's actually a little valve inside here. It's a Schrader valve that allows the pressure to build up, and I think it just got stuck. But we saw what the numbers were before. Actually, it's in the other end. I'm sorry. It's in the end that goes in the cylinder head. So I guarantee you that got stuck. But from what I'm seeing right off the bat, I'm thinking we got an engine problem. Let me find out how far they want me to go and figure it out from there. Do they want me to do a leak down test to see if is it rings, is it head? I'm going to say, judging by what the spark plug looked like, I'm going to say it's probably rings. Then again, it could have burnt a valve. Who knows? I mean, I shouldn't guess. I really shouldn't guess. Guessing is not the right way to do anything. So, yeah, let me see what they want to do, and we'll go from there. You know what? Let me just change that valve real quick and redo that compression test. There's the Schrader valves that go inside the end of it. The one furthest away from my thumb there, where it's sticking out, it actually burned up because, like an idiot, usually you do this and that cylinder's not firing because you got the plug wire disconnected. Well, guess what? That cylinder is firing because there's another plug wire I forgot to disconnect it. So basically, it just burned up the Schrader valve. So I'm just going to replace the Schrader valve with this other one that I have, and I'm going to disconnect the coil wire from that side. That's why it burned up. That's why it stopped holding compression. But let me do that right now, and then go on to that test. I have the other coil disconnected now. I got the compression gauge hooked back up. So now we're ready to do another running compression test. See, I told you, I'm not infallible. I make mistakes too. As long as you catch your mistakes and you learn from your mistakes. You know, I've been doing this so many years, you know, sometimes you forget. So let's do this now. Now it's going to run even worse because now it's only going to run on 2 cylinders. But at least this way I'm not going to burn up the valve. Alright, yeah, I mean, that's a massive, massive difference. See, this builds right up. That's how it's supposed to go. The valve is probably sticking a little bit again. It's probably seated now. So it's almost double, maybe 80% of what the other one was. So we have an internal mechanical problem. So we're going to have to figure out how far do they want to go. We decided we're not going any further on this motor because the truck actually has 313,000 miles on 314,000 miles on it. I didn't even realize that. So we're basically going to go with it needs a motor because we've got to pull it apart to do cylinder heads or something like, for an 8-cylinder head or something like that. It's not worth just doing that. It's going to need a rebuilt motor at that kind of mileage. So anyway, that's where we're going to leave this for right now and see what the customer actually wants to do. So if you're getting anything out of my videos, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.